What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Conscious TV platform. TGIF, honey. You get to pop that puss and ain't got to worry about no work in the damn morning. Ain't God good in the hood, child? Y'all already know what we are here to discuss, child. Okay, you see it in the title, you see the headlines all over. Okay. A glorious moment for some who have been desiring and wanting and wishing Miss Carlee Russell to be held accountable for her buffoonery, girl, setting black women back 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 goddamn years, honey. All right. Well, Miss Carlee is going to have some legal pressure applied to her. Okay. We're going to get into what Chief Police had to say about the future and the fate of Miss Carlee Russell. But before we get into that, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video until it is absolutely stuck. You know that thumbing up not only support and helps the YouTube algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up the notification system on this mother lover, okay? So when you thumbs up the video, you are literally digitally knocking at the door of other Conscious Crew members who have no idea that we are loud, live, and in mother loving color, despite being subscribed and having their own notifications set accordingly, because that's just how raggedy YouTube is, girl. Okay, so I need you guys to thumbs up as you pile into the building, whether you are a Bush baby actively in this live chat right now or you are a part of the replay gang. Your thumbs up matters and is single-handedly the most significant and important thing that you can do right here on this platform for any content that comes down the pipeline, which is to thumbs the up. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies. Welcome to the crazy multiverse of Consciouztv, baby, where you would get your life for one reason or a damn another. Okay? Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be kinging. And last but not least, please share this stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, girl, whether that be MySpace, Yo Space, Facebook, Twitter, the dark side of Tumblr, your personal OF. I don't give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we are loud, live, and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
How you guys? Okay, girl, y'all already making it rain on the king, baby. Let me shout out to my baby mother, Kuwana, who says, for love, you boo, stay you, period. Thank you, baby mother, Kuwana. And what's up, my baby mother, Ashley? Thank you so much, love. God bless y'all 10 times fold. I love you all long time. Thank you. That means a lot, honey, okay? Like, I know it's money, but it be like the energy behind the money that really is affirming for me. The fact that you guys just support me and the fact that you guys just believe that I bring something to the table that's worth appreciating monetarily is just a girl and a boy could ask for nothing less. Okay. So thank you all. Love you. I am a little late, you guys, because as you guys, some of you guys may know, me and Storm did a collaboration and we just got finished. So that's why I'm running late, honey, okay? It was pre-recorded and I have no idea when Storm is going to release said dialogue, but you'll get it very soon, child, okay? And we touched on a lot of things, honey. We talked about race, we talked about what it's like to be raised in the Black community and to be considered a alternative Black boy, whether you are considered alternative because of your orientation, or because of your hobbies, or because of your personality, or because of your personal style. Child, we talked about, of course, sexuality and gender, and expounded upon the conversation that Blessing It Rose, the transgender TikToker who got the conversation started around gatekeeping in the women's community, and Jess Hilarious and T.S. Madison. Like, we got into that whole conversation. It was really, 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 really good. So be on the lookout for that. And shout out to Storm Monroe, and subscribe to him if you have not, you guys. Okay. Now, oh, wait a minute. I got more change, girl. Okay. My baby mother Anya, stay working. Period. We're working. Thank you so much, baby mama. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you and the babies, honey. Love you long time. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me heart all of this. Let me heart my baby mothers, honey, for supporting their baby father. Thank you. I love y'all. Y'all are life, honey. Okay. Y'all are life. Who's probably not experiencing the best week of her life is our wigless wearing sister in Christ, Miss Carlee Russell. Okay, just as a very quick backstory, you guys know, 25 now 26-year-old Hoover, Alabama woman Carlee Russell apparently had went missing July the 13th as a result of stopping to tend to a wandering white male toddler on Interstate 459. She pulled her car over after alarming the authorities, and then essentially vanished into thin air, where Carlee Russell showed up 49 hours later at her parents' house and told the police that she had been abducted by a white male with orange hair with a big bald patch in the bike, honey. Okay. And that she was taken on a crazy roller coaster ride through 18-wheelers and houses in the damn woods, where she was stripped naked and photographed and fed Cheez-Its and had her hair cornrowed, girl. And she had managed to get away from these strange people, and the rest has been history. You guys know that since then, Carlee's boyfriend, the future lover of CTV, allegedly, girl, okay, that's on my Santa Claus list for December, has spoken out, retracted his initial defense of his girlfriend. We have not heard from the parents. We knew that the day that Carlee showed up alive and well, and she had been found, she had been retrieved, she had been manifested, that the parents of Carlee Russell did an interview the next morning, where the mother doubled down on the fact that she believed, at least at that time, that her daughter had been abducted, etc., and that it was still an open investigation. Okay, well, since then, there's been 3 press conferences, which ultimately ended in Carlee's attorney informing the American people that his client had admitted to lying and staging the entire thing, that there was never any abductor and there certainly was never any baby. Okay. As a result of this confession to wrongdoing, Hoover Police Department investigators and DA are now exploring alleged charges for filing essentially what was a false police report, lying to authorities, and wasting thousands upon thousands of private donors' money in search and rescue efforts for someone who had kidnapped their goddamn self. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the press conference. Okay. It was short, it was straight to the point, and then we're also going to talk about some of the chitter chatter that's happening on the streets as it relates to Carlee and her family. Okay, and then hopefully I have enough time to drop the link for you guys and get you guys input on all of this crazy man. Honey, let me shout out to my baby mother, Deborah, on period. Honey, how doing? How doing? My baby mother, Deborah, thank you so much, Deborah, for the moolah. God bless you, honey. Okay, baby, y'all love to keep, baby. Y'all love to keep keep the baby father, the king of baby fathers, lifted, baby, in good spirits and things. I just love you long time. Shout out to you, baby. Thank you, baby. So before we get there, let me show you guys the mugshot. Now, you guys know that Carlee's mugshot has been highly anticipated because we really haven't seen Carlee since the disappearance, girl, okay? Even though there was rumors she was down to Atlanta doing TikTok videos and celebrating her birthday with Walgreens birthday cakes and shit, girl. We have not seen a public outing. We have not had a Bigfoot sighting, okay, since Carlee walked home on her bunions, girl, okay, across the Alabama concrete floors and jungles, girl. So everybody was anticipating, girl, what in the hell this mugshot was going to give. Was she going to be wigless, honey? Okay, was it going to be giving penitentiary cornrow straight to the bike, baby? Was she gonna be giving Sealy, honey? Okay, was she gonna look like what she been going through, honey? Okay, everybody was curious to understand and to see what in the hell it was gonna be. Well, Carlee's mugshot didn't turn out half bad, okay, considering that they shoot them shits with a damn 1994 Boost mobile flip phone. This is Miss Carlee, y'all. Wide-eyed and wigged up, girl. Okay, got an old nasty long bob, baby. Okay, she looking chipper. She looking well-fed. It looking like Cheez-Its definitely, you know, sustained her, girl, since, baby. Okay, is this what a Cheez-It diet is giving, baby? Okay, I might need to adopt that my damn self, honey. Okay, and just smiling like she innocent, girl. Smiling like she ain't facing life in prison, girl. Smiling like she pay bills, like she run shit around here, girl. Just smiling. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Nah. What I can say is that, girl, this mugshot does not have any redeeming qualities to it whatsoever, baby. Okay, I understand when, like, people smile over really goofy ass charges, like running a red light, twerking on top of the car, obstructing justice. You know, when you get arrested for petty shit, I can understand you being a petty motherfucker in front of the mugshot camera lens. Considering that you destroyed your entire fucking life, and more than likely it's going to be all type of red bottoms thrown up against your motherfucking head whenever you are seen pooching through the Walmart line and pooching through the local mall, I would think it would have been more important, baby, to look remorseful, to look a little pitiful, to look a little sympathetic regarding the current plight, baby. This is not audition for the America's Next Top Models, baby. Okay. Carlee looked like she was taking her damn high school graduation picture, baby. Okay, I don't know what she got to smile about unless her attorney told her, girl, that you won't be doing no serious time in prison and that all of these charges are of a misdemeanor level, baby. So maybe that's what the inner glow is all about, baby. It's the fact that she essentially got a damn way with her bullshit. Okay, maybe the good news broke before the camera snapped, baby. So she got every reason to smile, baby, because she not gonna be turned into no hard ass lesbian with them aggressive ass women down there to the women's prison, baby. That she not gonna have to get on her knees and Belize after all, baby. Okay, that she ain't gonna have to do no licking and lapping down there to the local Hoover Police Department jail county, girl. Okay, I mean, I guess that's enough to make any goddamn woman smile, baby. Okay, when you ain't got to go down there and get into no lesbianism, child. Okay, that's a good day for any heterosexual black woman, girl. Okay, but I was taken aback. by how seemingly normal and down to earth and approachable, and how warm she appears in this video, under the fact that she done essentially robbed Americans out of $60,000 of their damn hard-earned money to search for her, and she here smiling while folk ain't gonna get their damn coin back, girl. Some folk gave up their damn oodles and noodles, girl, for this woman to be found, baby, and she got the nerve to be found guilty, admitted to guilty, and then be smiling on photography day amidst all her shit, okay? Somebody, management, PR, somebody should have told her, baby, she was gonna have to really let the mugshot have it, baby, okay? Because this mugshot is gonna set the tone for how the public, how public perception is gonna revolve around you, sugar, okay? Had it been me as her PR, baby, she would have came in there looking exactly like that image her mama put out there of her during the search and rescue hours, girl, when she was bald-headed, frizzy-headed, and all, baby, okay? She would have looked like she just came out of the damn wilderness, baby, okay? She would have looked like Carrie after prom, baby, okay? She would have looked it like Mrs. Chucky, baby, okay? After being thrown in a easy bake oven for a few hours, sugar. Okay, she would have looked fried, dyed, and definitely laid to the motherfucking side had it been me, baby. Okay, I would have wanted the public. I would have wanted her to look so bad in her picture, baby, that you felt bad for her, that you forgot you the damn victim. Okay, I'm not sure coming in with a symmetrical bob and smiling like you just had the best Cheez-Its in your life is going to do anything for your reputation at this point, sugar. Actually, I think this mugshot is so mischievous and it screams such delusion that it's probably going to force folk to dox her ass and set her goddamn home on fire, like the opening scene of the last Jason Voorhees movie, baby. Yes, down there to Jamie Lee Curtis' house, baby, where her big brother Jason Voorhees was down in the basement, sugar. Okay, because this picture screams, I just played in y'all face and don't give a damn. Please come hurt me now. See, this picture under these circumstances is just going to invoke violence. This is going to invoke violence. So I don't know who thought smiling on the mugshot, considering the circumstances, was a good idea in this case. But if her family actually has to go into protective services, girl, if they actually have to relocate to Georgia permanently, baby, I would not be surprised, okay? Because I know exactly what caused the violence, and it was this here mugshot. But let's go ahead and move it along to the press conference, girl. This is going to be all audio, and this, of course, is covered by fair use for parody research, educational purposes, child. Okay, Miss Fair Use disclaimer. Hold on. Where my fair use at? Where is my fair? Where my fair? Where my fair use? How doing? Did I delete it by accident? Oh, here it is. All right, girl. Let's listen up, child.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Earlier today, Hoover police detectives obtained warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case.
Ooch.
Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, a located kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lanice Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused.
Okay, so right now you guys heard that she's only being charged with 2 misdemeanors. Okay, despite all of the ruckus and buffoonery she created, girl. Despite all the hardworking officers who worked overtime and never went home today, women, girl, and husband's child, despite all the puppies and chihuahuas that was put on the side of the road to find her ass through the center of her drawers, girl, despite the hoverboards and helicopters and the drones that were used, child, all the manpower, girl, that was put into finding Miss Carlee, as if they were looking for those 5 wealthy-ass mayonnaise folk in the submersible Titan that imploded 1 hour into dissension, girl. She only gonna be charged with 2 misdemeanors. That's just the law.
I assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime.
Wow, so you heard Chief Nicholas say, girl, he about to take this all the way to the Applegate courts, girl. He taking this all the way to the federal level, girl, that he will be getting in contact with state legislators, girl, to make sure that there are laws put in place to, because you can't prevent somebody from creating a hoax, but to make sure that there are laws in place that are more severe for those who think they're going to play with police resources and public resources and who are going to take up time with fuck shit, honey, okay? So, and considering how severe Carlee's situation is and how upsetting it has been for the public and for the Black community and for Black women, etc., and all of the aggravation from just knowing that all of this was for nothing, girl, I'm sure that he's going to have no problem convincing state legislators that they need to create harsher penalties for those who want to play these damn Hunger Games in the face of Americans. Grab.
Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system. Joining me at the podium today is State of Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall.
Thank you, Chief. Let me begin by commending Hoover Police Department Chief Durgis for his leadership in this investigation. Obviously, this captured many's attention as a result of not only the allegations themselves, but also the concern about a possible victim and being able to return her home. The work that was done by the Hoover Police Department was monumental in its lift, and the results of that work you are seeing come to fruition today with the charges that have been levied. I also want to commend the many other men and women of both state and federal law enforcement for their work collaboratively with the Hoover Police Department in assisting in this investigation. Chief, appreciate the opportunity to be able to partner with you in this prosecution. We will dedicate a team to be able to help the city of Hoover in handling these 2 individual charges, and look forward to bringing this case to fruition. One thing I would add is that we don't see this as a victimless crime. There are significant hours spent, resources expended as a result of this investigation. And not only that, but the many men and women who are civilians that wore those yellow vests on a hot afternoon and evening looking for someone they thought was abducted, trying to be of assistance. We intend to fully prosecute this case and look forward to working with the Hoover Police Department moving forward. We also would tell you that we will continue to monitor this investigation to determine whether or not there are any additional charges that need to be brought, and we'll evaluate those as the facts are presented.
This time we'll open the floor to questions. If you'll please raise your hand and identify yourself and your affiliation when I call on you.
I'm CBS 42. This question for Mr. Attorney General. What is it about this case to the level to where it was a case that you wanted to take on?
We handle cases across the state. We have jurisdiction throughout for both misdemeanors and felonies. And when Chief Sturgis asked for our assistance, we were more than happy to be able to assist.
Is it common for you all to be involved in misdemeanors like a case like this?
It's not uncommon.
Keith Mims, WAGG610, 100.1 FM, Southern Union. Chief, this question is for you.
Yes.
What time was Carlee arrested with her attorney, and has she made bail?
She has. She was processed in our facility within the past hour.
Do you expect any charges to be forthcoming with her parents?
Because so they're asking about if the parents will be charged.
At this point, and again, I think anything is all as the Attorney General said, their team will also be searching through our files, and we'll find out what they say.
Carol Robinson with AL.
Ooh, so there are some ambiguous responses, y'all, to the idea of the parents being charged, girl. Like the chief ain't denying or agreeing. So what this ambiguous in the middle ass response tells us is that there are conversations happening around the potential involvement of the parents. Now you guys know that Carlee stated to her attorney in her confession that she did this on her own, which I do believe she did. I did get a chance to hear the very first sit-down interview the Russells did regarding Carlee's disappearance. And I will say that I can understand, especially from that interview, why folk think the parents are suspicious. And then I think it's a lot of misinformation that's going on around, did she celebrate her birthday, which would definitely be super incriminating. Were they down to Atlanta having a hot girl summer over the past few days? That would definitely be very suspect. And actually, it wasn't the first interview. It was a middle interview the parents did. And this was when the parents were allegedly down in Atlanta looking for Carlee Russell under the guise of a tip they received. They hadn't disclosed what exactly the tip was. And people found the interview strange as to why the parents would be down there in Atlanta. Because if you had gotten a tip, but you're saying that you're in Atlanta passing out flyers, posting them to every interstate, you didn't get any specific orders. Like you were just told she's in Atlanta. She's just in Georgia. Like you don't know where at in Georgia. But when I listened to the interview carefully, the mother did say the tip turned out to be a sham. So I assumed from there that since they were already in Atlanta from this alleged anonymous tip, and the tip was a sham, that they just went ahead and put out flyers, etc., since Georgia is a neighboring state to Alabama, and it would have been, I guess, possible for you know, her to have either been abducted down there, taken right on into Georgia somewhere. And remember, the last interview we got from the parents, the mother said that over the course of the 49 hours that Carlee was missing, that the family did receive a lot of fake tips. They received a lot of fake information. They received information that she was at the Red Roof. That's why they came flying to the Red Roof for her. She wasn't there. Come to find out that was a sham. But she did make note that they received a lot of fake information, but as a result of them being desperate parents who were after who they believed to be a missing child, they followed every tip that sounded convincing, that seemed to have some substance to it, because they could not afford to not take the tips seriously since their child was allegedly actually gone. But a lot of people grew suspicious of the parents as it related to that particular interview. And we're going to get into some other things when it comes to the parents after this press conference.
Press conference, been able to retrace where she was during the 49 hours she was missing. And
it's so low.
She was with anyone else during that time.
We have not found anything out on either one of your two questions.
Okay, so the journalist just asked if they have uncovered at this point where she actually was for the 48 hours. Chief saying no. They still have no idea where she was, what the hell she was doing in those 49 hours she was missing.
Valerie Bell, ABC 3340 News. Has there been any decision about a possible civil suit against Carlee and or her family? Also, what impact would this have on Hoover Police Department filing a suit have on the criminal case as well?
Yeah, we have not discussed that. Of course, we talked about the hours of overtime and all the significant resources that we used. And we'll certainly be talking to the Attorney General's office about possibly getting some of those funds returned to us.
Okay, so he was asked about all the donations, because you guys know it's been a lot of kerfuffling from Crime Stoppers who received a lot of money. Then they started issuing money back if people requested their money back. One donor got $20,000 back, another donor got $25,000 back. But then Crime Stoppers allegedly issued a statement saying that they were not going to be issuing out any more refunds, etc. And this journalist just asked pretty much, are there going to be any attempts through civil lawsuits against Carlee as a result? And he said, you know, all of that will be explored. So Carlee may not just be facing potential jail time, because she's facing up to 1 year in the county jail and a $6,000 fine. But she could really get that work put on her civilly. Class action lawsuit against her, individual lawsuits against her regarding that coin, etc. So they're going to be exploring all that.
During the press conference, she outlined some items she had taken from her employer. Any potential theft charges for that?
Those would have taken place in another jurisdiction, so we would not have charges ourselves.
So he was just asked, for those who can't hear, if the spot that she stole the drawers and the robe and the toilet tissue to wipe her ass with, okay, if they were going to press charges, girl, he said he doesn't know because that's in another jurisdiction, etc. But it's interesting that this came up, because if the job is invested in this story and they have feelings around Carlee not only stole from them, but she pretty much hoaxed the entire fucking country, they initially may not have been willing to press charges if Carlee had been actually abducted despite stealing from them. But they might be pissed enough to see, oh, Hoover Police Department, the DA, y'all need some help. Y'all need some help getting her ass. Let's go ahead and run up those theft charges to add insult to injury, to add some grit. Okay? So I guess in due time we may be hearing that her job may press charges against her. Mo says she did it, so Consciouztv would have her face up on screen, Carlee wins, period. We both win, you know, really, in all actuality. But someone else, I think Moon Witch, said in the chat that she actually believes that Carlee showed up at home 5 to 6 hours after she had went missing. And I think Carlee was actually out there in the woods and just walking the streets of Alabama without her wig on, because I think that's the reason why she took the toilet tissue. See, what she took from the spa tells a lot about where she possibly was for 48 hours. And that more than likely was in some damn obscure field or some damn wooded area, hiding out, maybe behind an abandoned building, an old abandoned gas station, or just out there wallacking. Because if she was going to go back home and that was going to be her haven, then she wouldn't have needed the robe, and she wouldn't have needed the toilet tissue, nor the snacks. See, the snacks from Target and the dinner plates from the China Hut and the toilet tissue to wipe her ass with all implied a woman who did not plan on returning home, nor a woman who had any accomplices. Because why would she be worried about food and worried about toiletries if she had an accomplice, whether that accomplice was her parents or was a friend, a cousin, etc.? All those give me singular phenomenon. She made sure she had food. She made sure she could wipe her ass, wipe her cooch. She had something to cover up with at night, etc., aka the robe from the spa. All that's giving me like singular. Because if my friends were going to help me do some shit, I wouldn't need toilet tissue. I'm about to go to their house. I don't need a robe. I don't need food. I don't need none of that. I can just go execute on my bullshit. Because, you know, I'm going to safety in between time. Okay? So when she told her lawyer that she did not have any accomplices, that, you know, she just did this on her own, considering that she went and got snacks and toilet tissue and sold robes and shit, I think she was on her own. I don't think her parents were involved. But I can understand why people think that. I see why people think that. But the other circumstantial evidence around the way what she did before she exited her car kind of forces me to believe that, yeah, she was out there wandering the yellow brick road, girl, for 49 hours shy. I'll be right back, y'all.
False reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor with $1,000 bond. Falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond.
Chief, I know you mentioned this the last time we were together. Just wondering if you have any update on an idea of the cost that the Hoover Police Department expended in those 48, 49 hours Carlee Russell was mentioning. And one final question, do you at this point have any more information if Carlee Russell acted alone or anyone helped her?
Yeah, we have not.
I'm back.
Finished, obviously, the 49 hours. We've been certainly busy since her return. So I still don't have a total on that. And we don't have any idea where Carlee Russell was for 49 hours.
Chief Mims, WAGG 610. Chief, let me ask you this. Going forward, there's been a lot of concern in the community as per young Black and brown females being reported missing. Would Hoover and other agencies have the same fervor going forward as they did with the case with Carlee Russell?
Absolutely. This, as I said initially, our focus was bringing Carlee home when she got home. And then our focus has been to find out if there was a kidnapping. We find out there's not. We work every case like all other law enforcement does. So I don't have any concern anywhere that would be an issue.
And can I echo what Chief said? I'm in law enforcement for 27 years. Law enforcement throughout this state. I've never seen anybody interested in the color of your skin in investigating a criminal case. And I expect, regardless
I ain't even gonna get into that statement.
Race, when that report is filed, that Alabama law enforcement is going to do its job.
state when she arrived to the jail today, and is she seeking any help at this point in time?
I was not there, so I really can't
Okay,
tell you
so
exactly. I really don't know anything else.
this journalist was asking, girl, what was her demeanor when she had to turn herself in, girl? Okay, was she shivering? Was she shaking, girl? Was she popping a pussy on a handstand? He said he wasn't there. He can't speak to that.
What are next steps after this? What is going to happen next?
Well, right now, the Attorney General's office attorneys will start dealing with our detectives and going through case files and preparing prosecution, I presume.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, so that was the conference, girl. She's facing 2 misdemeanors, $6,000 fine, up to 1 year in jail. They don't know and can't say at this time if the parents will be charged with anything, but this is still an ongoing investigation, and if they find that they are guilty of being an accomplice to this hoax, then certainly they will also face some consequences, but those consequences and charges will probably look a lot like Carlee's. There'll be misdemeanors. It won't be anything super dramatic. These people are not going to be doing years in prison. They're not going to have felonies on their records. If that's what people are looking for in this case, considering the way that Alabama laws are set up, like the chief have said, girl, you know, there's not going to be any of that. So for those who looking for like a real punch to the gut, you know, for Carlee to really get what she deserves, not going to happen in terms of the law. I mean, she's ultimately getting a slap on the wrist. Considering the fact that this was a non-violent crime and Carlee kidnapped herself, I do think that that at the max a year in prison and a $6,000 fine, that obviously is going to be met with probation, more than likely restitution, and she's probably going to have her fair share of lawsuits. I think that is appropriate. We have to remember, as upsetting as it is, Carlee, this is a nonviolent offense. She did not unalive anybody. She did not destroy any property. She did not. She kidnapped. She essentially ran away from damn home. And the thing about even her like running away from home, and she did intentionally lie to the authorities, is once again, for those saying why did she do this, etc. She did it because she was desperate. She obviously could not have done it for clout, at least not in the sense of how we think about clout, because there was no way for her to predict that, especially as a country ass Black woman, that her particular case was going to become global and international. There was no way for her to predict that. She clearly is a goofy. You can see that she's a goofy in her mugshot. This is not a woman who thought her abduction through. She left all of the damn evidence behind that got her ass caught in her life, for God's sake. So this is not a woman who's like an in-depth thinker. This is not, you know, this is not an adult who is very clever, very thought out, very long term in their thinking. You can just tell by how reckless and sloppy her execution was that this is not a deep thinking individual. I do think it was not meant to get the attention of the world, but it was supposed to get the attention of the world she was in, which were get the attention of her ex-boyfriend, who I believe she wanted back, and to get the attention of her parents, who I believe she didn't necessarily feel loved by. And so this was a attempt to run it up style, girl. This was an attempt to reset the emotional reality of the people she loved, honey. You know, she wanted that love, baby. But you know, as I started thinking about how deprived this woman must have felt to pull off something this embarrassing and to go this far to get the attention of the people she loved, I started to actually empathize for her. But then when I saw this mugshot, it just reset my empathy into apathy, because this doesn't look like a woman who is remotely remorseful and checked in, and who looks like she understands the gravity of her actions onto other people. Yeah, to your point, Cat's Meow, she actually looks like someone who intended. She's smiling like someone who intended to do what she did. And that makes it hard for me to empathize with whatever desperate circumstances must have been prevailing in her life to encourage and influence her to end up as an SNL Mad TV fucking parody of herself. Like, the smile makes it just drives all the compassion from me, and that's hard to do, because I'm empathic. I can empathize with the worst of human beings, but this mugshot just it's not invoking my empathy. So people sustaining their upsetness and wanting her to experience the fullness and the entirety of the law is reasonable. However, even as reasonable as it would be for Carlee to experience the full penalty and the fullest extent of the law, somebody said it earlier in the chat that it's just ironic that now all of a sudden they want to change legislation and want to make sure that there are harsher laws put in place as a result of what this black woman has done. But yet white women have abused the system, have abused Crime Stoppers, have lied to authorities, have incriminated and had other people's lives turned upside down under false claims that the Karens of the world have run amok for decades, and there's been no recourse. But yet, because the black woman abused the system, took advantage of it, all of a sudden now we need to run to the Supreme Court and we need to harshen the law, etc. And what's funny about that particular point is you guys probably heard of the man out in Texas who Rudy Farias, who allegedly his mom told authorities that he was taken by traffickers and had been missing for like 8 years, and then this bitch essentially did what Carlee did, girl. Well, she would have been Carlee's parents in this case, girl. She was in front of all the news, girl, soaking up all the money, soaking up all of the attention, all of the social equity on being a victim, etc. And then come to fucking find out this woman had been hiding her own son in her home in Texas, and the boy done spilled all the tea about how his mom pulled off this hoax and had him lying to family members, and he was living in silence for 8 years and having to sleep in the bed and take showers in front of her and all type of shit, girl. And women who had actually had children who had been abducted aligned with his mother to support her in her efforts to find him. Come to find out it was a lie. It was a lie. And the conversations around whether the mom could have charges pressed against her was very ambiguous, because the argument from some attorneys on a panel that I was watching said that because he's grown, technically no crime was committed against him. It could be argued that no crime was committed against him because he is of age. And if he had been sedated by his mom or brainwashed by his mom, or he chose to lie for his mom to relatives, to the authorities, that he made that choice, that he is competent and adult enough to be responsible for his own poor decisions. So the mom could, in fact, walk away scot-free because it can be argued that technically nothing criminal happened, that her decisions were immoral. They could be argued on a moral and ethical level, but that a criminal argument would probably fall flat. So it's interesting how a white woman can hold her child captive, utilize all the country's resources, pull together money, donation, sponsors, get search and rescue involved over an 8-year period, and yet the conversation is she didn't do anything criminal because her son was of age, and if he chose to be controlled by his mama, that was his choice. If he chose to be intimidated by his mama, that was his choice. If he chose to obey her and to not live his life and to allow her to tuck him away from civilization, that was his choice. But this black woman admits that she's wrong. Unlike the white woman, this black woman actually admitted, I'm wrong, I lied, and even apologized via her attorney, but apologized nonetheless. And yet they're about to run to the Supreme Court to change the motherfucking laws, baby. But this white woman, this white American woman, pulled off 8 fucking years of hoaxing. And yet the conversation is, she ain't do nothing criminal. It's all ethical. And we can't prosecute people over bad ethics. So there, once again, it can be argued that there is a racial undertone, which of course is not surprising when it comes to America KKK and black people. And you guys know, and I've been the only commentator to say it, so it seemed like I was the only one who made the observation that as much as Hoover, Alabama police want kudos and praise for searching for this black woman in the same spirit they would search for a white woman, what they forget is it can be argued that y'all did that largely because she reported a white child wandering in distress on the side of the highway. And that the real motivation to find Carlee was actually the motivation to retrieve this white child who Carlee reported on, who also was not at the scene when authorities responded to the 911 call. It can be argued. I'm not saying that Hoover, Alabama police is guilty of that, but I'm just saying that as Black Americans, we can never really afford to not acknowledge things like that, because once again, there is a blanketed history of Black women being disproportionately represented in missing persons and lacking the resources to be found in genuine instances in which they have been trafficked, they have been kidnapped and abducted. And it's interesting that for whatever reason, all of a sudden now, this Black woman here, who, because of racism, really should have been a statistic when she went missing. But because she reported a white baby wandering Alabama highways at 9:30, of course, they had to pull out the damn FBI, the CBS, Secret Service, Beyonce security guards, girl. They had to pull out the Illuminati, girl. They had to pull out everything. And I think that's actually why Carlee decided to tell the dispatcher that the child was white, because even she knew that would escalate the situation and ensure that there was a production around her alleged disappearance, even though I still don't believe Carlee expected this to blow up internationally. Because once again, no black person has a reason to believe that. Because once again, we the ones who don't get the coverage. We the ones who go missing that nobody gives a damn about. We the ones whose cases go cold. We are the ones whose reports end up on the cutting room floor of the police department. So no black person has a reason to be confident enough to believe that if they go missing, the country is going to give a damn. That's why I do not believe that she did this to get clout, because there was no way for her to ensure that that any real attention beyond a local missing case was going to manifest out of all of this. She got lucky by using that white child, which really is what escalated high level, high functioning production onto her. I'm sick that as a melanated man and person in this country that I can't just give it to white people for doing a good job. That because of how systemic racism is, because of how systemic white patriarchal capitalism is, that I always have to question the intent of the dominant class. I have to question the intent of white folk, and I just can't help but to consider that the only reason they pulled out all the stops was because of this white baby that was in danger, that was being used as a prop, that was in imminent danger. This was a search for a white child under the guise of searching for this black woman. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Hoover, Alabama could really be an integral department, police department that doesn't recognize or have any of those racial prejudices and is going to do their job thoroughly regardless of skin color. That very well may be true. That's what they argued in the press conference. Some of the other officers doubled down on the fact that that's the case, that they don't see color. They treat every victim just like that, and that they can promise black Hoover, Alabama citizens that Carlee's case is not going to stop them from being thorough and methodical in their research and their investigations regarding any other missing persons. And I hope that that's the case. And the proof will be in the pudding if that in fact is the damn case. I'm ready for the aliens to come and get me. This world is overrated now. I agree, Viper. Completely. Okay. Now, thank you to the street committee. We also were able to get a first-hand view of Carlee walking out of her attorney's office. So this is a second Bigfoot sighting aside from her mugshot. Okay, this is courtesy of WVTM13.com. Exclusive video shows Carlee Russell leaving attorney's office in Birmingham. It's a commercial on this. Hold on. I'm at the boneless. Why I keep playing automatically like this? This is so weird. Swings. Okay, hold on, y'all. It's a commercial plan. I'm a mute. Hold on. Okay, great. It was a piece of her commercial girl doing the most. Let me share my screen here, you guys. So this once again is, can y'all see this? Yeah, let me minimize myself. Hold on. All right. So this is WBTM13. Exclusive video shows Carlee Russell leaving attorney's office in Birmingham. Come on, paparazzi shots. That's her mom. In pink here, this is the father and his light-skinnedness, and this is Carlee, girl, blocking her face. Second Bigfoot sighting, girl. She looked nice in her single black dress, girl. Daddy got a nice little nasty piece of pickup truck, girl. Might have to make him my next boyfriend too, girl, as a consequence.
75-cent boneless wings from Pizza Hut.
Girl, hold on.
Our price.
Girl, she looked it well. She looked slim and fit. Everybody looking like they in good spirits. Once again, could be because they're getting good news. Y'all know how parents are, girl. Despite you being wrong as hell, they want to really be the only ones to punish you, girl. They don't really want to see, you know, no real hardship come to you, girl. So what we learned through Word on the Curb is that allegedly Carlee's attorneys are high-powered because she has the white guy that you saw who did the press conference, and then she apparently has another female attorney, and both of these attorneys are very allegedly well-connected. They're pretty much the Johnny Cochrans of their community. They have connections to the DA, to the mayor, etc. And this family is kind of a prominent family. Both the mother and the father are successful corporate people. The dad allegedly is the vice president of a bank, and of course the mom does real estate and flip properties and sell homes, etc. So this family has a lot of ties, girl. They're saying that the father also is a Freemason, etc. Girl, he a 44th, 57th degree demon, girl, and all type of things, shy. So they got connections, girl. So the good energy and good spiritedness, girl, might be coming, child, from oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. Wait a minute. I didn't know I had all these damn Cash Apps sitting here. Thank you to Angela, who says, I am so proud of you. Much love, DC. Thank you, DC. Thank you. But girl, DC is a day one, honey. Okay, this is one of my day one Conscious crew members. Thank you so much, DC. Love you, love you, love you long time. Thank you. How doing, y'all? Oh my God, you guys are too kind. Thank you. T. Nicole for small token, girl. Ain't nothing small about this token, baby. Okay. Says for small token in appreciation for pouring into me, Nick. Thank you, Nick. I love you down, boost, baby mama. God bless y'all. My goodness. Oh man, you guys are gonna make me cry if I wasn't so beat. I would be able to drop a single tear. I love you all. Thank you. I love you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Okay. So, girl, so I don't know about the Freemasonry. I don't know about the beat. I don't know about, if so back to the conversation around if the parents had something to do with it, okay? So on top of the whole, like them going down to Atlanta, but not disclosing what the tip was, and they also had told the interviewer, the parents, that is, the Russells, had told the interviewer that they did not necessarily inform the police about this tip. That also caused a lot of people to speculate about whether the parents were in any kind of way co-conspirators in this hoax, etc., because it just wasn't making sense to people, girl. I don't know how the family get down because, I'm trying to really give them the benefit of a doubt, just like I did Carlee, honey. I'm not into being one of those melanated people who just always assume the worst about other Black people. That's not what I do. That's not what my experience of my own people has been. And I just don't want to be that Black commentator that is just, that's just assuming the worst about everybody just because one person fucked up or just because everything don't make sense the way we think that it should. Therefore, it means that all the black folk in the situation got to be diabolical and up to no good and all of that. However, these are the things that made people scratch their ass as it relates to the parents. Hey, Miss Miko. Hey, I got your phone calls up. I am going to call you before the night is out. I called you by accident. I pocket dialed you last night. But we probably need to catch up anyway. So I am going to call you back, love. Shout out to Miss Miko. And make sure you guys subscribe to Miss Miko's channel. Hey, boo. So, hold on. Is this the same Miss Miko? Is this Miko I'm talking about? Oh, yes. This is my Miko. Hold on. This is my Miko? Because I got a lot of Mikos over here, girl. I think that's Miss Miko. If that's the right Miss Miko, then that message went to the right Miss Miko. But there was something else I was going to say that made people scratch their ass. Oh, people was also analyzing. They were analyzing a lot of the things that the mom was doing. First of all, it made people feel weird that the mom was the vocal one during all of the PR and publicity behind this hoax, that the dad was always present but never spoke. The mom led the narrative. This led people to further believe that the mother and Carlee set this up together. People also found it strange that we kept getting the report that Carlee was on the phone with her sister-in-law during her check-in on this child, and it was the sister-in-law who had the last contact with Carlee, but we never heard directly from the sister-in-law. We never heard from the relative themselves. The relatives did not take to the media. The relatives were not a part of the interviews. This led people to further believe that this was something that was not true, and that this was something that was once again concocted by the mother and Carlee. Okay. Let me see what else. They also felt like the mom was like, how can I say this? They felt like, some people felt like the mama was like too informed about the situation. Right? Like, people found it strange that the mom had warned Carlee of these type of things and had warned Carlee of stopping for strangers on the internet, on the interstate, and that this was, dangerous. And then conveniently, the situation manifested. Now, you guys know, some other people believe that that's a result of Carlee being so desperate that she took her mother's worst fear and pretty much simulated that reality, which is why people consider what Carlee did to have been cruel unto her mother. But some people believe that it's just that this is premeditated. And they also, certain parts of the interview where the mom was, I guess, reporting that Carlee, her door was found open, and this meant that she had planned on returning to her car. Now, people were saying, oh, like, that means the mom is guilty. Vaughn Ray, what's going on, sir? Hey, Vaughn. Vaughn, you ought to hit the link and come up here and tell me what you think about this Carlee Russell situation. Me and Storm were just talking about you in our collaboration. It's pre-recorded, so it ain't came out yet, but we was talking about you a little bit in that in our sit down or whatever. You ought to come up here and tell me what you think about Miss Carlee. And make sure you guys subscribe to Vaughn Ray TV. I am getting my life off of Vaughn Ray's podcast. That particular show with you and Sydney, I got my life off that conversation. I actually was going to do a review of that episode that you had Sydney star on, because y'all got into some things on that podcast episode, but then I end up getting like behind and swamped on work. I still may turn around and do a review for it. I hope it was It was all good. We were just talking. You'll see, it was good though. It wasn't nothing negative. So what the hell was I saying? So there's all that. Even though it's common sense, right? If she had left the door open, obviously she did expect to return to her car. Nobody leaves the engine in a vehicle. Nobody leaves their pocketbook, their phone, their food. The door is open if they obviously plan on if they don't plan on like returning. Nobody's going to just leave their shit wide open like that. So it could have been a common sense response, but for some people it was given, girl, the mama is motherfucking in on it. Let's say the day didn't go live. Let's do it. I'll text you after I wrap this up for sure. Let's definitely do some. Plus, I'm going to be in Atlanta really soon, so I need to come sit on the couch and get into some things. Okay, so I'll text you when it's all said and done. So yeah, so people are feeling like the parents are very much so in on it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the parents are in on it? I don't want to believe that. I think there's other explanations to describe maybe what some would consider to be suspect behavior from the parents. I think the mom is really intelligent. I think she also knows her daughter. And if it's true that the mom, that this is of course one of the worst fears of the mom, and maybe this is an area that she's interested in. Maybe she watches a lot of 48 Hour and she watches a lot of shows around disappearances and trafficking, etc., which are not odd interests for women, because women are largely the victims of these type of crimes. I would expect women to watch these type of shows in order to be informed about, you know, how these things play out so that they can understand these systems, so they can protect themselves from these systems. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for the mother to necessarily have this fear as a woman. And definitely a woman who has a daughter in the world, you know, a young daughter, a beautiful daughter, who would be concerned about her being snatched up, or her, because these are real conversations in Miami. Like, girl, they are snatching the girl straight up out of the hotels. Like, the concierge is actually in on the abductions and the kidnapping and helping to set tourists up to be abducted by the random white van out front of the 5-star hotel. Like, this sex trafficking shit is really real all over the United States, and it's revving up. So, you know, we have to consider that we don't know the mom personally enough to really understand the context of her behavior, but I'm giving her and the husband the benefit of a doubt. Once again, Carlee did say that she did not have any accomplices, that she did this on her own. And I don't know why, for those who believe the parents did it, I don't know why, like, what would have a successful real estate agent and the vice president of a bank have gotten out of staging something like this? People say donation money, but most of the money went to the organizations. They went to Crime Stoppers. They went to, you know, the Hoover Police Department. They went to those entities, not necessarily directly into the pockets of Carlee or to the mother. And I'm with you, Alana. I don't know what is the motive. It could be seaweed, Thomas. I don't know if you've ever seen, it's something called curly hair. You know, for African American people, you know, this would be super, super coily hair. You know, we don't have lazy curls like your white ancestors do. We don't have droopy, sad ass, pathetic waves and curls like your forefathers. You know, this, you know, it's green, curly hair, you know, but if it looks like seaweed to your white ass, that it is green. And if it's given Oceanic, girl, if it's given Little Miss Mermaid, honey, if it's given Happy Feet, girl, carry away. You know, it can be whatever it is you need it to be. Okay? It's green and it's coily. So if it's given Atlantic Ocean, then so be it. Okay? Get your life, honey. Get your life. So I don't necessarily believe, at least yet, that the parents are in on it. Not yet. I think there's other explanations that can describe things that make you go, as it relates to the parents. I think for those who feel, I think what has happened, I think because, see, my narrative is that the mama is emotionally unavailable because she's a corporate woman, and most corporate women are emotionally unavailable as hell to their children, okay? Because they already got to fight through living in a man-made world, in a man-made job, overly proving themselves as women to be taken seriously in the workplace in the male-dominated field. So a lot of corporate women are very left-brained and very like stoic emotionally, and because you kind of have to be that way to navigate the male system created in the business world. And I think that the way the mom shows up in her own vulnerability speaks to that stoic posture. So I expected the mom to look awkward in her vulnerability because she's not used to being vulnerable. Being vulnerable and upset and emotional and then doing that publicly, that's actually a nightmare. That would be the worst case scenario for a left brain corporate woman. Okay, so I didn't expect it to come off fluid. I didn't expect her emotional delivery to necessarily come off poetic and deep and necessarily convincing. I understood why it came off awkward, why her emotional expression was, it just had a oddness to it. So for the people who do believe she's up to no good, I can see why they say that. I just think there's other explanations that can explain certain behaviors and the way that the mom engaged the situation. And I don't know what the motive would be. I don't know why this successful black man, we ain't talking about broke ass Brenda and Daquan from the hood. I don't know what the motive would be. They literally don't really have to want for anything. You saw how nice that goddamn truck was that daddy was driving. I mean, they well known in their community. They're well connected. They work hard. They're degreed. They're educated. They got coin. I mean, like I don't know what would be the gang. And then on top of that, this is a lot to to gamble on top of not being able to damn near 100% guarantee yourself the ideal outcome, because once again, they Black Americans. So you're going to gamble your lives, your careers, your reputation. And the mama being a real estate agent, her livelihood literally largely is contingent upon her reputation. She's in customer service essentially. So trusts between her and the public are essential for her to be successful at what she does as a real estate agent. And then not only are you going to gamble that, but you can't even guarantee that the system is going to take your black ass seriously because your ass is black. It's just, it's too much, and it doesn't make sense. So until there's better reason to believe that the parents are in on it, I'm going to lean that the parents are not in on it and that they are victims of Carlee's bullshit. And yeah, I think that it's also interesting that Hoover Police is exploring potential charges possibly against the parents, but they once again would have to find concrete evidence to support them being accomplices to this. And once again, Carlee already has stated she was in on this by herself. And even if her parents were involved, I don't think she'll give her parents up. And I actually feel really bad for the parents. I couldn't imagine. And I think it's really sad because the mama tried to have her daughter's back. And she did what she was supposed to do, which is believe Carlee until the facts said otherwise. I respect that. Y'all, we live in the same era where people say believe black women. But then people are mad that the mom believed her black daughter about something that could have been true. Something that can be a real scenario. What else was Carlee mama gonna do until the facts came out other than believe it? I'm going to believe my child until the facts tell me otherwise. I'm mature enough to adhere to the facts. But why would I not believe my child in absence of facts? I want to believe what they tell me until I cannot. Until there's good rhyme or reason to not. And once again, this was obviously a fear the mom had already had prior to Carlee executing on this simulation. So the mom definitely was a believer in abduction and kidnappings and sex trafficking and all of that. So for her daughter to intentionally simulate that reality, her mama had every reason to believe that her daughter possibly could be could be on the way to being a damn statistic. And that is what makes it so cruel. So cruel. Because I just couldn't imagine. And having a child that put you in a position to maybe have to relocate your whole fucking life, because can you even look at your community the same? It's so shameful and embarrassing. How do you look at your neighbors? How do you go to work, like, to know that these raggedy motherfuckers on the job are probably gossiping and sneakering and trading links and shit and gagging in the background? It's just, how do you feel comfortable walking around in your community again, working in your community again with this stigma on you now? I mean, it's so, and that's what makes Carlee's actions so incredibly selfish, because her parents have to absolutely inherit some of the punishment and consequences of a choice that she fucking made. And because they are her parents, they're also forced to attempt to have to still love her despite her being wrong, and costing them and their own anger and disappointment and embarrassment. That's a lot, baby. I think everybody in that fucking household gonna need therapy when it's all said and done, baby. Like, the whole goddamn household, bitch, gonna need to be on some type of Ricky Lake special, girl, some type of a Dr. Phil edition, girl. I can see the damn Russells on Dr. Phil in 6 months, girl. Okay, a year from now. And I would pay to be a fly on the wall in terms of just what it's like how they holding this together. I wonder if the parents in the household, if they like practicing a denial in order to spare and prohibit a full emotional response to the situation, or whether they're really letting it all sink in and there's real anger and real rage and real whatever. Because, you know, black people, baby, we masters at denial. And we ain't got no problem scooting some shit up under the rug and acting stupid and not really dealing with the situation just in order to make it to tomorrow. Baby, that's our mutant powers, okay? Is suppressing some shit. No, she's not the only child. She got a brother as well. And they say that she got a brother who just died. Did y'all hear that? That Carlee has a brother that died some time ago, that passed away some time ago? Because I heard that she has a brother that is deceased. Look at Tyrus, child. Hey, stranger, parents also going to have to consider having their toxic child work for them, because you're right about that. She isn't. You know what I was saying? I was saying, baby, she gonna have to work for AT&T from home, girl. She gonna have to work for Boost Mobile from the house, girl. She gonna have to find her a stay-at-home job, because yeah, the block is hot. Hot. So bad in our community that they adultify little black girls instead of holding the, okay, I don't know what y'all talking about in the chat. It's a whole other conversation, I guess, going on in the chat. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, I had heard that that she lost a brother. I don't know. But yeah, her life has changed forever. Whether she go to jail or not, she's gonna live in a certain type of jail as it relates to the dynamics of her life, girl. And I wonder if Carlee has disclosed everything to her parents. I wonder if, I know the police don't know, but I wonder if at the least, if her parents forced her to tell her why. Where were you and why did you do this? Because she hasn't shared the why or the where with police or her attorneys, but I wonder if the parents know. And I'm thinking about this too. If the parents are the parents obviously are supporting their child. They were at the lawyer's office with her, etc. They driving her to her appointments and things, driving her down there to the county jail to take her mugshot and shit. But I wonder if the parents are now dealing with a certain level of guilt, depending on what Carlee told them. Because it's possible that Carlee told them, I did this because I didn't feel loved. I did this because I feel like, Mom, you too hard on me. Dad, you don't stand up for me. Me and Mom fight. We go back and forth. We disagree. I tell her my feelings and you watch her shut down on me, and you just be complicit because you don't want to rock the nest. Depending on what she told her parents might be taking it easy on her ass because they might feel partially responsible for who she's become. When the dust settles and the media move on, the town gonna make them feel it. Oh yeah, for sure. If they do come out with Carlee's law or token law, no telling what the jail penalty will be for hoaxes. Oh, it's I'm sure they're gonna raise it from misdemeanor to federal for sure. Don't cry, DC. Don't cry. They subconscious will kick them at bedtime. Can escape a nightmare? Sure can't. And you know they paying for the lawyer, of course, child. Probably was paying for the red Mercedes Benz and all. Paying for everything. I'm sure she wasn't making guap at the damn spa for sure, which is why she was staying home to begin with. Mooching, honey, okay? I'll ride the wave of mommy and daddy money, Okay, that's one thing that we like more than our own money, baby. That's mommy and daddy money. Conscious, she has a body. Oh, she has a bodyguard with her because people want to harm her. Very reasonable. Consciouztv, when the judges finally officially grant me my default judgment and calls for frivolous conduct in many court cases, I'm contacting you to send a sizable donation for your free income. Woo, child! I'm just saying, child. It was to get that young man back. I believe that. I believe that the boyfriend was a part of the motive, and I think that there's probably been some issues in her relationship to her parents that contributed to her, being desperate enough to do all of this. Because ironically, she made contact with her mom right before she pulled all this off, etc. So I know the parents for sure that like she did this to get the attention of her parents for sure. But I equally believe also that the boyfriend obviously was a part of what she was hoping would be a positive result of her being a damsel in distress. I think she thought that this hoax would drive folk to deepen a love for her, and that her boyfriend would respond to the fear of losing her with a profound commitment to her and never want to let her go, and that her parents would, that her parents would embrace her, that they would, give her their heart. What's so funny about the Black community and parenting, and I can't speak for no other community because I'm not a part of no other community. I just know what I've experienced, and I know what plenty of my tribe members, my other melanated folk have experienced. And the thing about Black parenting style is because of the issue of white supremacy and racism and sexism and all of those evil birth childs out of white patriarchy. The Black community obviously has been in a state of surviving America, not really being able to let our hair down and really enjoy America for the ideal it was created in. We've had to survive this motherfucker. And as a result of having to survive all of these systemic issues that led to a lot of inner issues, a lot of Black parents actually forget to be emotionally available to their children. If you talk to a lot of emotionally unavailable parents, their go-to when it comes to justifying why their kids should stop complaining and why their kids should be grateful and to justify not listening to their children, the rhetoric and response is always, what do you have to complain about? You got it easy. I'm the one paying the damn bills. I'm the one working. All you got to do is go to school. You ain't got no damn responsibilities. The go-to rhetoric is always to man up, to get over it, to do as you're told, basically fuck your feelings. You don't have the luxury of having feelings and having them recognized and taken into consideration, because Black parents always think that because they are providing materially and that they're providing to the best of their ability and that they are providing well, that's all parenting is a sum total of, is providing. You have to provide your heart, baby. This is why you have poor kids who can grow up to be incredible human beings. Because all young people, beneath all the bullshit, all the acting out, all of the ruckus, even if they don't know how to ask for it, are in fact asking for your actual love. Not just your protection, not just nice clothes and shoes and a good house, but they need the intimacy. That intimacy is so significant that an impoverished family where a child has parents who can't get them their first car for high school, that can't get them brand new clothes from the mall, that can't provide the best meals to put on the table every day, have the bare minimum of materiality, but have a whole lot of love. Those poor kids who wasn't privileged to have Jordans and PS4s and vehicles and live in gated communities and have the best attire can grow up and be fully healthy adults. Because that single variable of love is that powerful that it can substitute all that other shit that parents actually believe and are pressured to provide for their kids, which is all the material shit. There's a lot of Black men and women who were raised up by parents who, yes, loved them and who, yes, provided the best they could for them, who also felt disconnected emotionally from their parents, that who never felt and longed for that bond and to be truly seen and valued by their parents. You have a lot of Black boys who become Black men who got mommy issues. A lot of young Black girls who are adult women who got daddy issues because of these emotional discrepancies in the absence of your parents' heart. And when somebody doesn't have your heart, they're always going to question your actions, no matter how good your actions are, no matter how much of a provider you are. That providing will never make up or substitute or stand in the place of what people know it truly means to be loved as a person and have your humanity honored in a relationship. Have your identity honored in a relationship. Have your voice matter in the relationship. Have your needs matter in a relationship. And yeah, children will act out and become dysfunctional adult children who act out and do the most insane things as a result of that mutation in their soul, as a result of not being loved. So once again, I think if we can take anything from the Carlee Russell situation is love, baby. Provide for your children to the best of your ability. All the fancy things life can provide. Don't forget to give them your heart, because they might act a plum motherfucking fool and stage a goddamn kidnapping hoax as a result of getting your damn attention. Okay? You can't have an excuse to guard your heart from your children. You can't say, well, I had to work and I was a single parent and I had to survive thyroids and I had to toughen up. It's that toughening up that your children are paying the price for. Young people pay the price for parents who don't feel that they can be emotionally receptive or grounded enough to be present enough in their relationship. We gotta not make an excuse to be emotionally removed. Because at the end of the day, they didn't ask to be here. The male and female brought them into this world. So it can be no excuse. You got to show up and show up fully, regardless of your circumstances, because you chose those circumstances. You chose that person to incubate your child. You chose that person to take sperm from. If having children force you to have to work harder to provide, etc., their relationship to the baby mama, to the baby daddy didn't work out, now shit even more crazy. All that can be true, and it can't be an excuse nonetheless. All that may be true, that life got harder as a result, baby, because shit didn't work out the way it was supposed to. You had these children under the guise of being in love and a relationship that was intact. Shit hit the motherfucking fan. Now it's baby daddy, baby mama issue, child support issues, economic issues. It's all type of shit going on. Now you're on 2, 3, 4 child now. So the responsibility done cranked up. And as true as all that responsibility is, you have an obligation, father and or mother, to show up fully, because your children deserve nothing less, and pay the price for you using those things as an excuse to not be well in here toward them. When you the one who brought something into the world, you don't get to have an excuse. You show up, and that's just period. Hell or high water, you show up as a provider and as a nurturer. Father or mother, you show the fuck up. And if you want to know what not showing up looks like, it looks like Carlee Russell staging a $60,000 hoax, embarrassing the whole entire family as a result because y'all didn't show up. What it looks like is your daughter running off to be a hot girl and being sex trafficked because she got to find her daddy and her boyfriends. And now she's somewhere across the Mexican border being inducted into a cult, all because the root of her rebellion was a lack of love and a lack of proper attention and nurture provided to her. What it looks like is your sons growing up to be apathetic toward other men and toward other women as a result of nobody ever giving them their heart. What it results in is chaos that then spills out and impacts the entirety of the community, who ends up in ruins as a result of a bunch of confused motherfuckers walking around unloved and untransformed because of a lack of true love and attention and nurture provided to their minds and provided to their being. That's what it looks like. There's 101 ways now to prevent having children, and there's 101 forms of contraception. It's no excuse to have them and then to abandon them. And if you're somebody who has had issues with your own parents, then what it means that you need to do before you have a child is to get in counseling and to read some books about what proper healthy parenting is, so that you don't reflect any of the toxicity that was generationally practiced in your damn lineage and pass that same toxicity on to the way you love and show up for your own children. Make sure that you're absolutely clear of that shit and resolved of that shit and correct about your shit, because it's not like having kids. It's like lightning striking. It's not, people don't just end up as fathers and mothers. Which means that we have a lot of time and space and room to contemplate who we want to be as fathers and who we want to be as mothers, and to provide ourselves the education and the tools and the healing to be able to be that before they ever get here. And it's never too late to correct course, because even if you've already had children at this point, never too late to get your ass in counseling and to pick up a book and to repent, to rethink your thinking. Talk to your children. Look, I do this with my friends. I do check-ins. Every so often, I'll call my relatives and my friends and I ask them, how am I doing for you? Just in case you're too scared to even ask me for what you need or to confront me about what you want. I take it upon myself. I believe in in the fucking room. Tell me how I'm doing as a friend. Because we all can be selfish enough to get caught up in ourselves and to get a little selfish and tunnel vision and off in a way and end up detached. So I come back in asking for a report. Parents, ask your children how they feel about you. Of course, you got to create a safe space for them to know that they can be authentic in their thoughts without losing you or angering you. But seek data from your children. Seek data. Do those check-ins. Black households need to start creating spaces of dialogue and exchange where parents can share their experiences of their children to their children in a safe and productive way, and vice versa. Because families and households require teamwork, baby. Ain't no dictatorship. The reality is households are a democracy. The minute that we start teaching and parenting from our ego and from this my way or the highway ass shit, this is when we produce the Carlee Russells. This is how we produce the Lil Boosies. This is how we get these people doing the most. And there's a way to be the authority and also provide a round table. Because being the authority should not result in fear and people fearing you. But that's what people think comes with power and leadership. And that fear causes people to shut down, causes people to lie to you in order to navigate how dangerous you are emotionally, how dangerous you are mentally, how dangerous you are physically. We end up dysmorphing the whole network by thinking that to be the authority is to rule and institute fear. Claudia says, Conscious, your hair is gorgeous. You should come on live more often. I try to now. You know, my last few lives been loud, live, and in color. But, you know, sometimes, girl, you know, when the news cycle be cycling, honey, I just got to get in it, honey. And I don't have time to be turning on lights and going in my studio. And because all this shit requires a setup to get dressed, to get styled, to put on the lights, camera, and action. And, you know, sometimes it's just too much. Okay. But yes, I am trying to be on camera more because I know you guys enjoy seeing your fave slay. Okay. I ain't mad at it, baby. If I was y'all, I want me on camera more often too, child. Okay. So yes. But that's all I got for y'all. Got to get out of here. Happy Friday, girl. Be safe. We'll keep an eye out on Carlee Russell. We may have a Hot Topics tomorrow. If not, it'll be Hot Topics on Sunday. We got some Beyonce to get into. We got some Mills to get into. We got some Megan Thee Stallion and what's her good girlfriend name? Girl, Kelsey to get into. Girl, it's a lot going on. In the world of the world's girl, be looking out for me and Storm's chit chat about the Black community and sexuality and gender. I will post it once it's uploaded and complete to the community wall, etc. Once again, shout out to Storm also. Shout out to baby mother T Nicole for the old nasty piece of cash app. Yeah. Shout out to my baby mothers. How's doing? Oh my goodness. Forget your rest. My daughter has a legacy, period. Shout out to Crystal. Thank you so much, baby mother. Shout out to Gabriella, who says, for love you. Continue with great work. I will. But you guys supporting me like this, I ain't got no choice but to give you what you want. Okay. I love you all. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Any stories that you guys want me to report on, or any information and tea that pertains to stories that we have already covered or that I'm covering, don't hesitate to send me links, send me clips, etc. to Consciouztv@gmail.com and or to DM me on Instagram. Okay. I love you all. Oh, says CTV, you never answered my question. Are you fully dressed? Yes, I'm fully dressed. I have on drop crotch black pants and this low hanging V-neck shirt. Yes, I do not have my dick out, if you're asking. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm only dressed from the waist up. Today I happen to be dressed from head to tizzo. Okay. I might be coming back married to tomorrow, maybe, possibly. And if not, I'm definitely will be back Sunday. Thank you, Natasha, for your old nasty piece of cash app. Baby, y'all showed out on this cash app, baby. Y'all are showing all, I'm talking about showing all the way out. Like, y'all are showing all, baby. Y'all must have got paid. What's the date? What's the damn date, girl? The 1st and the 27th, baby. Okay, now I know when to come live, baby. Okay? Because y'all doing it, honey. Y'all spending the hell out y'all men's money, baby. I ain't mad at it, honey. I love you all. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.